Welcome back to the Golden Trail World Series. You're joining us for Stage 4 in the French Alps for the Mont-Blanc Marathon. The Golden Trail Series consists of 8 stage races and a final, each testing the world's best trail runners across different terrains, distances, elevation and conditions to crown an overall world champion. So far this season, in Japan, former series champ Maud Mathis and Kenyan Patrick Kipangino both came from behind to seize victory at the Kobe Trail. In China, it was a Kenyan double win with Patrick and Joyce Najiru both leading from the start at the Four Sisters Trail Race. And in Zagama, Gillian Journet claimed his 11th victory and was joined by Norway's Sylvia Nordskar, her very first Golden Trail win. Victory scores you 200 points with your top 4 races counting towards the final. With only 5 races left, our athletes are running out of opportunities to score big, so from now on, they need to make every race count. But first, the Mont Blanc Marathon, with 42 kilometers of alpine trail, climbing over 2,500 meters.
Mont Blanc will be my first long race since last year.
It's my first race of the season.
It's a pleasure to be here in Chamonix Mont Blanc.
I raced 2 times. This year 3. Last year I have the cramp. I stopped it because I don't drink a lot of water.
It's interesting because every time I'm thinking the Mont Blanc Marathon course it's not for me, but every time I finish in top 5, so maybe it is.
The finals last year, when Mădălina and Judith beat me, I was like, that sucked. Next year, I'm gonna come back and show that I'm the best. And it sucks sitting here and feeling like, okay, I don't think I can do that, actually.
I have still pain and problems with my hamstring since Asia. It's a bit better, but I can't train as I want.
I would try to take it a bit more like a game because I was maybe too much focused the past years.
I think the key point is to eat and drink. I have like 20-30 minutes, and yes, don't start too fast.
I didn't race that much yet, so I have still this kind of glint of motivation.
The competition is very big, but I'm not scared.
I hope this year to finish on the podium.
I know how to do good race. I am ready for all.
The important is to be first at the end, not at the first part of the season.
Our looped course starts in Chamonix, heading up the valley with 13 kilometers of fast running before the real climbing begins at Le Tour to our peak, Agier de Possette. There's a technical descent into Valacine before they're climbing once again, the long drag to La Flagère and its steep downhill into our finish. The pack will be whittled down on the false flats to Le Tour, 700-meter climb up Possette and the descent into Valacine. But this race is usually won or lost on the second big climb to La Flagère. Then just pray you can hang on until the finish. Our athletes to watch. Last year's series champion, Switzerland's Rémi Bonnet returns. He demolished the field here in 2023, but his form this season is yet to be tested. No one was close to women's series champion American Sophia Laukli at Mont Blanc, but are her pre-season injury worries still a concern? Polish Bart Prodziewski has podiumed twice here before, and following his third in Zagama, will be challenging again this year. Former series champion Maud Mathis last won here in 2021. Unlikely to lead out, she'll need good race management and a strong second half to win again. Fellow Swiss Roberto De Lorenzi will be hoping to bring his recent European Championship winning form here, but 42 kilometers is a long race for him. Former series champ Judith Wyder is opening her Golden Trail account. She's recently pipped rival Mădălina at the Euros and can aggressively attack the final downhill into the finish. Morocco's Elhousine Elazzaoui is leading the series but seems cursed on this course. Will he last the distance? Also returning is Romania's Mădălina Florea. She won last year's final and has the raw pace to lead out, but will need to improve her race nutrition to win. Italy's Daniel Pattis will be hoping to build on his podium in China, but will marathon distance be one step too far? Second last year, China's Yao Miao will be hoping to deploy her 2:29 marathon pace, although another podium will be tough.
Hop. It's always the trickiest point to put it a bit.
You're ready?
I'm always super ready.
The women were first out the gates. Zigama winner Sylvia Nordskar leading out through the town. But it was a cautious pack with no one prepared to push the pace for the first few miles, creating a large lead group before Judith Wyder took to the front.
For me, it was not about pushing. I just tried to go my calm pace, and nobody really wanted to take the lead.
Last year I went out hard, but this year I wanted to race smart.
The men's, however, was a different story. French runner Dylan Ribeiro using his sub-30 10k pace, a little prematurely to take the lead.
After the start is good, I don't go fast.
Before favourite Rémi Bonnet and Roberto De Lorenzi settled at the front of the pack.
Then Rémi attacked a little uphill.
So mentally was good for me because I saw that even if I am not pushing like so hard, I can go away. So from then I was feeling that it was possible to win the race.
13 kilometres in is where the climb starts to bite. Le Tour, the aid station, beginning the 700-metre climb to Argelès-de-Posset.
I was not feeling the best in that part actually. It was quite rough and easy running, but still steep. I was just trying to do it with the least energy as possible. And I knew they will try to push because probably they don't want to meet me in a downhill.
By now, the women's lead group had narrowed to 4, all changing positions with the terrain. Mădălina Florea attacking the runnable climbs, Maud Mathis stomping the steeper ones, with Sophia Laukli content to sit behind, always keeping the leaders just about in sight. As soon as the women crested the peak of Posset, Judith made a triple overtake, slicing the corner with a better running line. Roberto De Lorenzi tested Rémi on the climb with a short turn of pace and awoke the bear. Rémi responding with a higher gear, building a comfortable lead within a few hundred meters.
He attacked in the long uphill at kilometer 14. For me, it was too risky to go with him, and I wanted to save a bit of energy for the second part. And so, yeah, he went faster, and I stayed a little bit behind with Elhousine and the Kenyans.
Uphill, I think, Rémi is very strong.
The chasing pack of Kevin Kibet, Ezekiel Ruto and Robert Pekimoy were drifting away before Elhousine sprung into life, not wanting to lose touch completely with the race leaders.
When we were running together in the downhill to Valorcine, of course I knew that the second part actually will be kind of the one who will decide the race.
While Judith was gliding her way over the technical sections, Mădălina and Sophia were having to brute their way down the course, punishing their legs to keep the pace.
Elvia, come on.
I didn't run that long downhills for a long time, so it's a little bit hard for me.
Last year's series champion, Rémi Bonnet, was maintaining his minute lead over Roberto De Lorenzi as they raced down Passet. But it was Morocco's Elhousine Elazzaoui who was making moves, continuing his charge through the field, flying down the mountain in the hope of catching Rémi.
I push in the bunny.
To see Elhousine coming back in the downhill of Les Posettes, I was surprised because I was thinking that I was going downhill quite good, but then it catch I think 50 seconds. So then I know that he was here also to win the race. So from there it started the battle.
Battle lines drawn. Can Elhousine catch Rémi? And which of our top 3 females will make the decisive move to win the Mont-Blanc Marathon? See you after the break. Welcome back to the Golden Trail Series. We're in Chamonix, where the world's best trail runners are taking on the Mont-Blanc Marathon. Our top 3 females, Judith Wyder, Mădălina Florea and Sophia Laukli, are locked in battle with 20k to go.
You hang on. Huh? Come on. This way, girls! Left! Keep going, guys. Come on.
As the leading group of 3 refueled at Valorcine, the 23k mark, Mădălina took to the front, intent on making the others suffer on the climb to Le Bachet.
I was feeling very good, and I say, okay, let's try to see what will happen. Because if was not trying, maybe I will lose a lot of energy to think what will happen later.
China's Yao Miao, only 20 seconds behind, could hear the leaders from the roars of the crowd, with Maud Mathis another 20 behind her, and Anastina Akia only 75 seconds off the lead. The cheers of the crowd were masking the noise of Elhousine closing in on Rémi as they reached Valorcine. A mix-up with the bottles allowed Elhousine to overtake a surprised Rémi, who immediately retook his place at the front by increasing his speed, knowing that the next 10k of climbing were all to his advantage.
Each station I drop a flask and I had to turn back. So each station I think I lose like 10 seconds.
Kenyan Kevin Kibet had used the descent to catch up with Roberto De Lorenzi, both 50 seconds behind our race leaders. Frederick Chanchand and Robert Pekimoy a further minute behind.
Yeah, from there, my strategy was try to follow them, and there we were battling for third place. My goal there was to stay with them and try to reach the podium.
The bond between our top 3 women was starting to break. Sophia's legs looking heavier with every step, and as the climb steepened, Mădălina sensed weakness and increased the pace. First dropping Sophia, and then eventually Judith.
I was quite calm, letting her go. I probably could have tried to follow her, but definitely would have lost my legs for the downhill.
When Rémi Bonnet and Elhousine catch me and they say, let's follow them, I follow for a few meters and I say, oh, he's hot, let's stay slowly.
Rémi and Elhousine were also locked in battle, both probing for weakness with changes of pace to see how the other would respond.
Yeah, he tried to attack me, then I follow, and then I attack even faster. And I look my watch and it was like crazy numbers.
Sometimes I talk with Rémi, I tell me, hey Elhousine, you are very strong.
And as they reached the slope to La Flégère, climbing at an incredible pace of 2,000 meters per hour, but Elhousine could not be shaken.
When you go out of the wood, I was seeing Elhousine and Rémi not so far away. So I said, I'm feeling good, I can try maybe in the last downhill to catch them.
All the time in my mind is to let's provoke myself if it's possible to run fast for a few meters, or let's go to enjoy this downhill.
Mădălina was throwing everything into the 500-meter climb to La Flégère, but she failed to increase her 45-second lead. Would it be enough? With the final downhill approaching, Elhousine launched his attack, practically sprinting the final 5K.
In the downhill, I have a lot of confidence that I will win.
And he was just flying, like I couldn't react with the warning prompts, so I tell to myself that I have to stay calm and to try to come back like in 2-3 kilometers.
Rémi tried to respond but was battling cramps, and that wasn't his only worry. Now only 19 seconds behind, Roberto was rampaging down the slopes, with the fluid Kevin Kibet only 60 seconds behind. With only one downhill between him and the finish, Elhousine took advantage of Rémi's cramps and pushed right through to the line to win his first Golden Trail of the year in a course record time of 3:30:10.
I am very happy. You have 3 podiums and the first in Mont-Blanc Marathon.
Less than a minute behind was a smiling Rémi Bonnet.
Good battle. I think I had more pleasure than last year during the race, to be able to really push the limits.
Roberto De Lorenzi claiming his second ever golden podium in 3:33:07.
I'm really happy. This is an iconic race for me. Like here, first time podium means really a lot.
With Kevin Kibet and Ezekiel Russo completing our top 5. The trail was dampening, and through the woods to Chalanon, the difference in confidence between Mădălina and Judith was apparent. Judith converting a 40-second deficit to a 20-second lead as they started the final descent into Chamonix. Now 3 minutes adrift, Sophia was cruising, unaware that Yao Miao hadn't given up on the podium.
I saw Sophia just before arriving to Chamonix, and I pushed my max to reach the podium.
Judith was demolishing the downhill, running the final 9 kilometers 7 minutes faster than last year's winner to finish in a course record time of 4:11:12.
I think today was a really good tactical race, which played off really well, and I'm really happy about it.
2.5 minutes ahead of an equally delighted Mădălina Florea.
When I saw the finish line, I say, wow, I survived. I was scary, but I survived. It is my knee because I say, oh, without tattoo for this race, because I don't fall.
Throwing everything into the descent, Yao Miao caught a surprise Sophia entering the town to seize third place. With Sophia and Spain's Rosa Fliu rounding off our top 5. Your best 4 results count, Elhousine's 4 finishes giving him a comfortable lead, with Romania's Bogdan Damian and Morocco's Adel Moussa, the only 2 athletes also on 4 finishes. In the women's, it's 4 from 4 for Spain's Rosa Fliu, who now tops our table, with big gains made by Therese Leboeuf and Italy's Caterina Stenta joining the top 10 for the first time. We're back on the 10th of August for Sierra Zanau. "30 kilometers of Swiss trail, with Kobe winners Patrick Kipangino and Joyce Najiru both set to return. It's gonna be the race of the season. See you there."